Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Keely, and this is my dad. Since Father's Day is coming up, I thought I would share a little bit more about him with you guys.
Middle of the road, it's just a feeling of a distant melody unknown. I was doing fine, I minded my own business till the day you took me home. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet, made me whole again. You came in my life, I wanna see your face. Never will I be the same again.
You guys know a lot about my dad. You know that he has cancer. You know he lives here with us in our house. You know he wears a lot of tie-dye t-shirts, and he has long hair. And if you've been around for a long time, you even know that my dad and I used to live together when Cadence was first born. He actually spent a lot of time taking care of her when she was really little. It's my dad's birthday.
A little scary, I guess it will.
But there's a lot of things about my dad that you guys probably don't know.
I was born in 1950. My parents and I were in a car wreck when I was 4 months old. I got adopted.
He's done a lot of really cool stuff in his life. But one thing you probably wouldn't think is that he actually graduated with 2 bachelor's degrees.
Bachelor's degree in archaeology, one in anthropology in 3 years.
So my dad used to be a pretty good surfer too. As you might guess, he did tour with the Grateful Dead for quite some time as well.
Probably from 69 till 74 when I went to college. When I got out of college, I lived with a Navajo, went to Mexico, did a few shows, and went back on tour for real in 88. Just younger. Just seen probably 20 shows.
One time, he owned a school bus, and inside the school bus was a store. And I was probably like ages 7 to 10 during this period of time, but it was pretty cool. He's done a ton of jobs. He's been a painter, he's been a produce manager,
Carpenter.
which leads me to the story about the time that you cut off your toe.
I grabbed a saw, skill saw, to notch some bottom plates, and the blade wasn't on tight, and it walked back across my foot. So I lost first knuckle on my big toe, and the next 2 toes got cut in half. But they sewed those back on, but I didn't worry about the big one. But it's okay. I can still hang 9.5.
He's also been an usher at a movie theater, recycle truck driver. One time, he ran cows from one room to another room for $1.25 an hour.
Had to have work.
My dad's been to a lot of countries. He's been to Mexico, El Salvador,
Guatemala, Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, Colombia, and a bunch that I can't tell you about.
So I was born when my dad was 40 years old.
I was a kid.
And I don't think he ever thought he was gonna have kids.
Yeah.
He probably never thought he was gonna have grandchildren either.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't supposed to make it till 30.
So my mom and him were never married, but they had a really good co-parenting relationship. Several years on Christmas, my dad even came up to where they were living so we could all be together and hang out, and I will say that it's been a pretty good model of what a co-parenting relationship should be like. So I've tried to think about that every time that I've ever had any issues in co-parenting with Cadence's dad. They did give me a pretty good example of what to do.
Sit down and talk like friends.
I mostly lived with my dad growing up. It was definitely a different kind of childhood, but I totally wouldn't change it. I've been on tour with the Grateful Dead. I've met some really cool people, and I've met some really crazy people.
It's pretty sketchy.
The one memory that comes to mind is the time that we were at some show and it was pouring down rain and everybody was going to hide under this big tree that was in the middle of this field. I just remember like being on my dad's shoulders and like walking by through the rain to get to the car.
It was Washington, 95.
The tree ended up actually getting struck by lightning and a lot of people got hurt.
We had towels, dry clothes, so we were cool.
It worked out.
But we got a bath.
I was taught as a kid that everybody's different and that's totally okay. And to be who you are and to have no regrets about anything that you do in life. I've seen my dad work really hard. I've spent a lot of time with him at different places and his different places of work because he was a single dad. So I ended up going pretty much everywhere with him, which taught me a lot of things. I've seen him run his own business, I've seen him work for people, and I've seen him work for people that he was much more qualified than. I've just seen him do a lot of things to make sure that I had all the things that I needed. I've seen my dad be angry, I've seen my dad be sad, and I've seen my dad be really, really happy.
Be crazy too. A little.
I've seen my dad befriend people who nobody else would talk to, who nobody else would befriend. And that's always been something that I've tried to remember, is that you never know where somebody came from and you can't judge anybody based on their appearance. So you guys are always asking, how is my dad doing? Well, the easy answer is that he's doing okay. My dad's had cancer for 5 years. He treated it naturally for 4 of those years, and it wasn't until November that he started to treat his cancer with chemo and other cancer treatment drugs, like mainstream cancer treatment drugs. The chemo was really hard on him. It was really hard on me. It was really hard on everybody that was around, honestly. Because the chemo was so hard on him, he ended up not being able to do the full treatment that he was supposed to. He actually ended up in a rehab center for like the entire month of January and February because he was just so weak and just couldn't do it. Right now, he's waiting to start a different sort of treatment. If you live in the US and you watch TV, you've probably heard of Keytruda. It is on the TV commercials all the time, and it is his next step as far as treatment. Everything I read is different. When I read something, sometimes people have great effects from it, sometimes people have terrible effects from it, and it's just such a wide spectrum, and it all depends on like so many different variables that I honestly have no idea how it's gonna be. Because of the unknown of how it's gonna be, I'm really nervous about it. I mean, the time when he was going through chemo was unimaginable for him, obviously. I have no idea what it was like for him, but I do know what it was like for me, and it was hard for me. So I'm just nervous. I'm nervous for him, and I'm nervous for me, and I'm nervous again about this treatment. Obviously he has to do something though, so this is the step that we're at now. The doctors do have high hopes about this treatment though, so I'm really hoping for the best, and obviously we appreciate all of your thoughts and prayers and everything that you guys can send our way. All the positive vibes are much appreciated. Because the cancer's in his throat at this point, he's pretty much lost his voice, which you guys saw. He has a really hard time speaking, chewing, eating, and you know, sometimes it's just difficult for him, much more difficult than it would be for me or you. In the last 5 years, my dad's changed a lot. That's really difficult for me. I grew up with my dad for, you know, a good portion of my childhood, and he is somebody that obviously I always looked up to because he's my dad, and he always had such like a, you know, free spirit that it's hard for me to see how much it's changed him and how rapidly in the past like year and a half it's changed him. I am very happy that he lives with us and that I can help him out through this time and that he can be there with the kids and see us, and you know, hopefully that helps him. There's a lot about my dad I could say. I could make a whole movie on my dad's life and it probably still wouldn't cover it. He has 1,000 stories and things that he's done and been through that are just so interesting. He's had a really full life, and I love how much everybody who knows him cares for him and, you know, asks about him and talks about him, and I love that about him. He definitely has had an effect on everybody he's met. As things change with my dad's health, I'm gonna be sure to update you guys. In the last couple months, I haven't made much of an update just because there hasn't been much to say. Nothing's really changed all that much in the past couple months. We've just been going day by day and trying to figure out what the best course of action is. I do wanna tell you guys that he does have Instagram, so if you would like to follow him on Instagram in the meantime, please feel free to do that. I'll leave the link down below. He's just an old guy who posts funny stuff on Instagram that he thinks is cool or funny, or, you know, just whatever pictures he has on his phone. You know, just keep that in mind when you look at his feed, but that's him on there, so you can go check him out if you would like. He always likes to meet new people and have new Instagram followers. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me to be able to make it for my dad and to be able to share this with you guys as well. It means a ton to me about how much you guys care about what he's up to and what he's going through. And I do wanna wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. I would love for you to let me know something in the comments down below that your dad taught you, whether it be big or small. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken, and take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay